Just a reminder that these videos are made for adult doll collectors or adults buying dolls for others. This is not a video for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you very much for listening. Hello Internet! My name is Kelsey, and welcome back to my closet. So yes, guys, I was able to gather enough to make another news video. Very rare that we get two in a row like this. It's not a whole lot, but there's one particular subject that I felt the need to give an update / summarization on, so that's what really kind of drove me to make the video in the first place, but we'll get to that later. For now, let's start with something new from Just Play. Recently, Instagram user vitamin_D_81 was in CVS and happened to find these new dolls called the BU Crew. Now, normally, I try to stay away from things that are already on shelves in these videos, but I'm mentioning these because since they're in CVS only right now, I highly doubt a lot of people have heard of them, and it's a new fashion doll line, so it's always worth talking about. So yes, this is Just Play's latest foray into the standard size fashion doll market after Naturalistas and Latinistas, and also kind of the hair-mazing budget dolls. There are two characters so far, Ella and Brianna. Each come with 2 full outfits and accessories, and the sets are $20 each. The idea behind the line, based on the blurb from the back of the box, is that they're high schoolers, and they're just trying to be themselves, man. So yeah, these are basically Barbie knockoffs, but that doesn't necessarily make a doll a bad doll. Right off the bat, I like that they come with 2 outfits. The outfit quality seems pretty decent. Not the most luxurious materials, but we have different types of materials at least, and separate pieces so that things can be mixed and matched. Brianna's dress is definitely my favorite. I love the shimmery gold, and it's really nicely made. Like, the construction of the bodice area is more complex than a lot of doll dresses that you get in a budget Playline, and it's floor length, which is just unusual for Playline in general. As for the faces, they're alright. Vitamin D81 seems to think that these are a new mold, which they might be, but to me they kind of look like an altered version of one of the hair-mazing budget dolls. Maybe they just use them as a base. They also said the bodies are probably Naturalista bodies, and that would make sense since they have the basic 5 points of articulation, and Just Play has the mold for them already. Going back to the hair, the quality of that does not look up to par with what we're used to from Just Play. Vitamin D81 seems to think that it's poly. I'd be inclined to agree on that just by the pictures. I mean, especially this one here. It looks super dry, which is a shame. Just Play usually uses really nice soft hair fibers. Even on the hair-mazing dolls, the hair is like the same that the hair Doorables used to use. So that's kind of disappointing, but I guess since these are a lower-end doll, available only in a drugstore, they had to cut back costs somewhere. Plus, they still come with the 2 outfits, so, you know, I guess you trade the hair for the outfits. There's no word yet if these dolls are going to stay exclusive to CVS, or if there will be more in the future, but I wouldn't mind seeing more. Even if the dolls themselves are a little lackluster, it's always nice to have a new brand with fashions, so that you can kind of steal them for your other 1/6 scale dolls. Next, we have 2 new capsules coming from Make It Mini, who continues to blow me away with their innovations. Also, side note, because these are already out, but there are Target-themed capsules. I had no idea these were coming, but you can get, like, the Target-branded food. You can even get the little bullseye cookies they sell at the Starbucks and a little shopping basket. Ah! Friggin' adorable. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. The really exciting news is this new kind of capsule, Make It Mini, Make It From Scratch. And by the looks of it, that is exactly what you're going to be doing. Lately, Make It Mini has been leaning more heavily into the consumer truly making everything from the ground up, like in the Lifestyle series and the Lord of the Rings series with the silicone molds. But this is really making it from scratch because you're not given anything but ingredients, and you have to make your miniatures as if you are cooking or baking them yourself. Now, obviously, these are still not edible, but still, You have to mix it, mold it, and assemble it, and I think this is fantastic. It truly gives you complete creative freedom because you can make these however you want. If you have leftover stuff from your other capsules, you can incorporate that, or whatever else you happen to have around the house. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I really am curious to know just what exactly these cakes are going to be made of. Like, are they still resin? Is it air dry clay? Some other kind of adhesive or cement or something? It's not super clear in what information we have right now, but I guess we'll find out more as it gets closer to their release date. There's no word on exactly when they're coming out or a price. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little bit higher than the other capsules, but hopefully not. But hopefully they come out soon. I'm so excited. The other new capsule that's going to be coming out is Make It Mini Makeup, where you can make actual blush, eyeshadow, and nail polish that actually work. So this is like a perfect follow-up to the spa capsules, though they don't excite me quite as much because I don't use makeup, but it's a super cute idea still. And I love, again, that Make It Mini is just becoming so interactive and immersive in the making process. You really feel like you're creating something unique. I can't wait to see where else this brand goes. I just love it. Now we're going to move on to Mattel, and we'll be sticking with them for the rest of the video. First, we have a new Barbie playset with some extra fashions, and normally this wouldn't be such a big deal, except for the fact that this doll uses the Odile face mold, and oh my god, she's gorgeous. Not only that, but this might be our first hint that they're going to finally replace Millie with this face for Barbie. There had been some speculation about that happening when the Gala Pink Premiere doll was released, but I feel like this is confirmation. Because look at the artwork in the corner of this box. That's Barbie's artwork, not some other character. That's Barbie. Malibu, the character. I think that's all the proof we need. And at the very least, even if they don't retire Millie, which they really should, they seem ready to incorporate Odile into more Playline dolls because they know it's a face everyone loves. And this doll in particular has a very similar face up to the Pink Premiere doll, so if you didn't want to spend the $50 on her, or if you're not in Club 59, you can get a very similar doll for much cheaper. She only has a basic 5 points of articulation. The Pink Premiere doll also does because she's on the Music Muse body, but if you're a head swapper like me, there's no issue. Now the clothes and accessories, they're pretty much the usual fare you would get out of a fashion pack, nothing mind-blowing here. I do like the pink jacket with the silver skirt as a combination. That's probably the best outfit in this set, but the rest is just like, I'm not in it for the fashion this time. I'm in it for the doll. No word on price or release date, but super excited that Odile is getting to be more accessible for everybody. On the collector side with Barbie, we have a picture of the new Bob Mackey Holiday Angel for this year. I haven't really been paying attention to this series since it started 2 years ago. The previous dolls were beautiful, definitely. Very elegant, but they weren't really very risky, so they didn't catch my eye. This one, though, she's got so many points of interest. And yeah, maybe she looks a little tacky, but I think she's like tacky in the best way, which is really what Christmas is all about, isn't it? I'm not a huge fan of her headpiece, but that's easily removable, of course. Other than that, I really like her a lot. Her face is gorgeous. I love the heavy makeup. I love the dark green as a base color, that she's supposed to be like a Christmas tree, how the pieces of fabric are wrapped around her like a garland, that big bow at the bottom of the skirt, even the jewelry. She's more high concept than the last two angels, which were pretty much strictly your traditional Christmas angels. But I like high concept in a collector doll. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but in this case, it definitely works for me. It makes her more special. So if you're interested, she's coming out on November 15th, which is next Friday, and she'll probably be $100 because the other two were $100. I think I'm gonna have to snag this one. I really think she's gonna fit right in with my holiday Barbie collection. Now on to Monster High. The next Skullector release was leaked not that long ago by an artist who worked on the box art, but now we have a picture of the dolls themselves. It's going to be a 2-pack of characters characters from Jordan Peele's movie Us. I heard about the initial leak of these dolls from Christina over at Christina Land, because she made a video all about these dolls and the unusual discourse surrounding them. So go check out her video, she gets more in depth about that. But I will reiterate what she said a little bit. If you're disappointed that this is the movie Mattel chose to make the next dolls of, just remember to be patient. There are hundreds of scary movies out there. Your favorite could be next. Just hang in there. Now, as for these dolls, it's hard for me to make a super strong opinion just because I've never seen the movie. I'm not a horror movie person. To me, they kind of look like they would fit in more with the Wednesday dolls because they're just people. They're dressed in regular clothes, they have regular hairstyles and everything. I do like that they have really nice textured hair. It looks really good. The skin color is one that we haven't had in Monster High G1, so that's also really cool. But, you know, they don't look scary because they're just regular people. And I know I'm missing the context of the movie. I'm sure somebody who knows all the little details that are being referenced in these dolls would be like, oh yeah, that's super scary. But to me, they just don't fit in the lineup with all the other Skullector dolls that have been based on more traditional horror. Maybe, you know, we need to branch out and get into other types of horror, other categories, so that they'll fit in a little bit more. It gives the collection more variety. As far as release date, I got nothing on that, but probably gonna be soon since we have this picture. But yeah, if you've seen the movie, if you're into the movie, let me know what you think of them as a design based on the movie. Did they hit the mark? Also from Monster High, this is super exciting news. In my last video, I mentioned how Cleo is going to be getting the real drama treatment and that there's going to be a second wave of dolls. But we didn't know who else was going to be in the line. I had said that it would be nice if Mattel would re-release the first dolls since there was a huge problem with the distribution and bots taking up all the stock. Well, Mattel must have heard me because we have confirmation that the first 4 dolls are coming back. Someone recently spotted an Amazon listing for Claudine that said she would be released December 31st of this year, but then the listing was taken down. But the speculation that caused was then confirmed by Instagram user Cleo's Niley. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm so glad. I'm really excited, not for myself, but for all the people who didn't get a chance to grab these when they first came out. I got the 2 that I wanted already. By some miracle, I got Draculaura on Amazon. It took months, but she did eventually show up. And then I got Laguna on eBay, but I had to pay over retail. But now all the scalpers can suck it. And it also really makes me appreciate the effort that Mattel is putting in to try to fix some of their mistakes from the early days of the Monster High reboot. Like re-releasing these and the Creep reductions. They're owning up to what went wrong and trying to make it right, and that shows that they value their customers, or at least their money, but I mean, that's what it's all about in the end anyway with the doll industry. At least they're trying to win our money in a more favorable way, I guess. Anyway, as far as when exactly these are coming out, it's probably gonna be early next year. The listings have not come back yet, so keep an eye out because they are going to be returning. I just wish, though, that Mattel would do the same, owning up to their mistakes and giving the people what they want with this last subject, the reason that I really wanted to make this video. And before I get into this, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a little bit out of my usual style because this isn't like a news topic, it's more like a story that I have to tell, and it's just gonna be a little bit different. So, welcome Committee Frankie. In case you're not up to speed, let me give you a little background. This is Welcome Committee Frankie. They were meant to be a special release for June of this year. They were going to be Target exclusive, and they were supposed to be a subtle pride doll. There was no specific reference to the queer community on the packaging or anything in the doll's description, only the words inclusivity and differences, which, you know, if you're a conservative person that reads into that kind of stuff, yeah, that's what it means, but there was nothing blatantly saying LGBT. There were some references to the pan and trans flags in some of the colors used on Frankie's outfit and accessories. But Frankie is a canonically non-binary character from the beginning of G3. As a non-binary character for a doll representing the acceptance and tolerance of people with different feelings and lifestyles, Frankie was the perfect fit. However, as it got closer to June, Target backed out of their exclusive deal with Mattel, likely due to threats that had been made over Target's heavy promotion of Pride merchandise, as every year they have a pretty sizable display, usually right in the front of the store where you walk in. They also had some backlash in 2023 for having transgender-friendly bathing suits that some people assumed were for children, when they were not. So, while Target didn't completely remove their Pride merchandise, and there was never a plan, I don't think, for Frankie to be in with the Pride merchandise, they distanced themselves and left Frankie hanging with nowhere to go. And I can't blame Target for this. They were doing it for the safety of their customers and employees because people who were making threats were threatening physical violence, so you can't take that risk. But okay, that's fine. Target's out. There's still plenty of places to sell this doll, such as Amazon, because an Amazon listing then popped up not too long after. That's where I placed my order back in June. And now all I had to do was wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. My delivery date kept getting pushed back further and further, at one point even being completely removed with no estimation of a delivery. Finally, in late August, I got a promised delivery date of November 5th or 6th. I was willing to be patient for that because this is the best Frankie design that they've done in G3 so far, at least I think so. So I just had to wait a little bit longer. Okay. In the meantime, I had also discovered that Toy Wiz had Frankie for pre-order, and their site also promised an October or November release. So it seemed like everything was lining up. November 4th comes around, and my order gets canceled. I actually hadn't realized at first because I hadn't seen the email right away, but Christina messaged me on Instagram because we've both been waiting on this doll for so long, and lo and behold, there it was in my inbox. Due to a lack of availability, we will not be able to obtain the following item from your order. We've canceled the item and apologize for the inconvenience. Frankie's listing is also no longer searchable on Amazon, though it is still available if you have a link to it. So I immediately went to the Toy Wiz website because they were the only other site I had ever seen the doll listed on. Pre-orders were sold out, but they hadn't pulled the listing or made any mention that the doll was not available. So I emailed their customer support, just asking if they knew anything about the release of the doll. This is what I received. The provided product in question is currently a pre-order with an estimated arrival date of November. This means we can receive a product shipment from the distributor at any point within the coming weeks. Once we do, the product listing will reflect the status accordingly. That was a little bit of information, but I decided to send a follow-up just to get a little more specific. Thanks for the quick response, but I do have a follow-up question. Has Mattel given any indication that they still plan to distribute the product to you? I asked because I had an order with Amazon for the same item, but they canceled it for not obtaining the product. I wanted to know if Mattel is planning to release this item to you or if they're canceling it. And they were nice enough to answer me again. At the moment, we have not received word from the distributor of a cancellation in the product shipment we have been anticipating. In the event that they inform us of said cancellation, we will update our customers listed for the pre-order products accordingly. So, Toy Wiz seems to think that the doll is still going to be shipped to them. Amazon is assuming they're never going to get it. And Mattel remains deadly silent. And all I have to say about this is that it's bullshit! There is no reason not to release this doll. So you didn't want to release the doll for Pride because of backlash. So what's stopping you now in November? Nothing! The only acceptable excuse that I will take for Mattel not releasing Frankie is holding out for the next Pride. But something tells me that that's a long shot. And it's such a waste because I'm sure that they have all the dolls produced and they're sitting somewhere in a warehouse to rot for the next 10 years until they possibly show up at Ollie's or Ross when they clear out. The whole situation just pisses me off so much, and Mattel should just be transparent about it. They just have not made any reference to the doll or acknowledged anything about anything. Pretending that the doll never existed is a very bad look, especially because Monster High is supposed to promote inclusivity and acceptance and tolerance, and they're not shying away from LGBT themes in their other media, like the comics or the show. It is incredibly disappointing. From the people who made the first non-binary dolls with Creatable World. Like, those were never taken off the shelves due to backlash, even though I'm sure there was backlash. They were just taken off the shelves for not selling very well. So what is it that you can't release this one doll on an online retailer where parents would have to specifically be searching and finding this doll on the website to buy it for their kid? Mattel, either release Frankie or be honest with us about what's going on. Do not leave us in the dark. Rant over. Sorry I had to get a little bit intense there, but the whole situation has just been bothering me for so long and I had to get it out. I normally don't talk about heavy topics like this. You know, I try to keep things lighthearted on the channel, but this hits home. Sorry the ending of this video got a little funky. Let me know what you think. Let me know if anyone out there has also had their orders canceled, or if anyone ordered Frankie on Toy Wiz. I would love to know if your orders are still set to ship. And then, of course, let's go talk about all of the nice positive things that we talked about in the earlier part of this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and until next time, bye!